that first read of "We can't be out enjoying a ballet." Yes, that's the right read. You can't be out enjoying a ballet.
Yes.
Like,
Care
what
about
the
the
fuck?
optics.
Yes.
Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Imperfect Women, starring Kerry Washington. A round of applause, claps, 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 on Apple TV. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And before we get into this episode of Imperfect Women, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and hit the notification bell and follow on whatever platform you are watching us on or listening to us on. And be in the comments. Let us know what your theories were, because I'm gonna tell you, my theories, I ain't been wrong yet, except one.
The lawyer in you, girl, because let me tell you. I was shooketh. Oh, I didn't say y'all, but we go on episodes 1 through 4. I was shooketh by the end of 4.
Yeah, let's start at the end of 4. We're gonna start at the end of 4 because that colors really everything. Because we have this whole thing: who's David, who's David, who's David. And I didn't think he was David. That's what I will say. But I knew that man was involved in the storyline. I knew he was involved in her disappearance or something, because he kept having too many little small ass memorable moments and lines. Like the kids coming to the funeral, and she was like, oh, he likes the kids to, what did she say? To be exposed to death. And I was just like, this is some weird ass shit, like, and very strong statements, right? And the wife, Mary, kept bringing him up all the time. Oh, he lost his job, or he this, or he that. And he was like, oh, he had to wave. Like, it was just like, he is a character that they're trying to give us enough of him that he's going to be relevant later on. And so I always kept thinking about him. I wish we had recorded at end of 3 so I could really have been proven, like, y'all would have saw my genius, okay? Y'all would have saw it. But I knew that man.
I was completely thrown off. I was completely thrown off by that. Like, I did not expect anything. His actual name is Howard, but I did not expect anything of Howard besides he is Mary's wife, and clearly they a little bit above the cuckoo nest. You know what I'm saying? So they're very odd. They're very odd and neglected. Yeah. I don't know what Mary has in her past, because it seemed like she might have some issues with, like, drugs or something in the past. Howard is trying to seem like, the eclectic parent. So I was just like, okay, like when he mentioned the exposure to death and funerals, I didn't think it was weird. I was just like, this is their parenting style.
No, I just was like, it felt so intentional that they were having these little moments that just felt like, he's such a background character, but they're pushing him a little bit into, like, moments. And the one theory that I was wrong about, that I actually thought was, in the beginning, I thought Kerry Washington was a killer. I was wrong about that.
Yeah. Well, I quickly got over that, because I was just like, that would have just been too easy. Like, too easy. I felt like Eleanor or Robert, Nancy's husband, being the killer is too easy. Like, it got to be somebody else, especially coming off of watching His and Hers. I was like, this is a classic whodunit, so it's not going to be obvious, you know?
I think I didn't realize it was a whodunit at first. Like, I wondered, I felt like I thought initially that around that time that it was going to possibly be she did it, and we sitting here, she's like a protagonist, Eleanor, and we're sitting here like in one of these Joe style shows, like You off of Netflix, yeah, where we're following the I don't know what Joe was, like a protagonist,
the charming person, but also crazy.
Yeah. And so I didn't know if we're going to be following her and the hecticness of her trying to cover it up. I didn't know where the show is going quite yet. And this was like early episodes 2 or whatever. What episode were they hunching at? Because that was when, like, after
Eleanor
she found the letter.
Robert, the husband?
Yeah, was that episode 2 or 3?
At this point, I know. Yeah.
But at that point, when she found the letter, that's when I realized, like, oh, okay, it might be him. It might be it might be some, like, I don't know. I don't think it's her though, and that's when I started to realize that, like, okay, they really just this is a whodunit at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, when I first very, very much so, like when it opened up, I didn't think it was a whodunit either. I really
mm,
thought it was about this sisterhood and one
mm,
died, and so I thought it was gonna just like take us through their story somehow. Like I didn't
mm,
realize it was gonna be a murder mystery. But I will say we didn't really speak about our overall thoughts before we get into some character deep dives. But I think it's a great show so far. I think the storyline is going at a good pace. Like it's leaving me with answers and questions every single episode in a good way. It's not boring. I love a show that's gonna give me some flashbacks. I love a show that's gonna bring in some psychology and all the things to pick apart.
yeah,
So I am enjoying the watch so far. How
yeah.
about you?
No, I agree. And there's some shows that we're trying to watch, and I'm the person that's dragging my feet on them, like I love overboard. But every time I sit down to watch this one, I'm not. I'm just like, where's the rest of it? It's that
Yeah.
So I just enjoy it on a personal level, whether we were covering it or not. It's good. I love to see Kerry Washington. I do feel like that this hairstyle they got her going on is aging her a bit, because I'm like, this is the oldest I've seen her, but now this is the oldest she done been, I guess,
I'm
in a
sorry. This is
show.
the oldest she's acted. Yeah, this is the oldest we've
This
seen
is
her.
yeah, but I do feel like that hairstyle, the bang and the short. I don't know. I like a little. Where's my Olivia Pope?
Yeah, yeah.
Where to do it? So I
Olivia
don't
Pope
know.
though was over 10 years ago, baby. Olivia Pope was birthed a long time
I
ago, and sometimes we don't
know,
realize how much time has
child.
passed. But I think she looks great, and I love
Yeah,
her
yeah,
fashion. Her fashion has been
yes.
on point. I'm like, I
10
need
out
a
of
few of these
10.
pieces.
Yeah,
But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into we spoke a little bit about Howard slash David. I'm sure he'll come back up. But
yeah.
who do we want to start with? Should we start with Nancy or should we start with Eleanor? Because the
Let's
way
start with
the
Eleanor.
yeah, because the way
Yeah.
the show is structured, it's like it's forcing the watcher to believe it is her, right?
Yeah.
She's the last person that everyone knows of that seen her, spoke to her. She's
Yeah.
the person who reveals to Robert, at least at that time we thought was revealing to Robert that
Yeah.
she was having an affair.
Mhm.
And so yeah, she's
Then
and then we
Nancy was
find
having
out
an affair,
she
yeah.
liked Robert.
Yes. Yes.
That threw me
Yes.
all the way off. Okay.
Well, I kind of thought about it when she came by the house, because I was like, what's all this? What is all of this about? First of all, you leaving your fine man.
Fine, very fine, fine. Drop
Fine
his name in the
man.
comments. I'm trying to
I
figure it out.
know.
I forgot.
Drop his real name in the comments too. A phone number. It's like, I'm joking. But no, he's an attractive guy, and she just was left to go to the house. And I'm like, this is also not girl code, because like, why you telling? Why you telling?
Yeah,
So that was a little
yeah.
off for me. I didn't quite say at that moment that I felt like she liked him, but I was like, this is off. Like, why are you telling him? Like,
Mhm.
she must be really worried, I guess. But like, why are you telling him? Because you don't do that, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know.
And it's not your business to tell. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
hold up now. Like,
Mhm.
not because
Mhm.
she missing it, she was gonna go see this man.
Yeah, yeah.
At least that's the last thing y'all spoke about that we saw at the table before she goes and tells him.
Yeah.
So
And if she's concerned, it's like you can go to the police independently and just be like, "Look, I think, she got a little situation with her husband, but I'm just a little concerned. So if y'all could, like, I don't know, wait, look everywhere." I was like, "What? You don't even have no
yeah,
place to tell her where to look." You just I
yeah,
need some
trying to give
support.
that man a soft space to land, girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but they
Um
really set Eleanor character up real bad. I was like, now why the black friend got to be the one that's jealous, of the white friend in her life?
yeah, I don't know.
I ain't like that. I ain't like that part of the storyline.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
because
that's
even when
real.
they put the little montage up on the
Mm.
news to say, this person is missing or whatever, or at that point was she found dead? I'm not sure, but she's on the phone with the other friend Mary and is like, wouldn't this make people hate her? Like, why are they doing this? Wouldn't like people seeing her life set up this way, wouldn't it make people hate her? And Mary was like, I don't know about hate, but maybe jealousy. And then Eleanor kind of like agrees. So it was definitely given they had a history. But yeah, I was refusing to believe it was because she wanted to be with that man.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that she did at first, but it was interesting. Like, it made me think about what's that movie? Oh, Something Borrowed. It's a
Mm.
movie with Kate Hudson and I can't remember the girl's name, but she's the star of He's Just Not That Into You. But there's a book that initially that I'd read before it was a movie, and it's about this friend that she went to school with her best friend's husband. She knew him first. She always liked him, but there was this thing and they never took it anywhere. And then that friend came in, was like, whoop, and just swooped him from under her. And she married him. And then they always had this thing and then they had an affair. And so it made me think of that. But it's like, that's why you got to be honest with people. You got to be like, if you feeling them, or I guess as a friend, you got to step back and not,
Intervene, or just say, you know what, I actually can't be friends with you because I have these super deep feelings, and so gotta and you might not even have to say all that, but you're gonna have to distance yourself if you know it's gonna impact your friendship because you done slept with this woman's husband.
Yeah, but it's so well, I don't think they slept together before that
Before the death,
time.
after the death, do it matter? Does it matter? I think on the deathbed is even worse.
No, I get what you're saying. I guess I thought you were like assuming that they had an intimate relationship
They
before.
had something because everybody in Eleanor's circle was talking about the infatuation
Yeah.
that Eleanor had for Robert.
Yeah. Or like the special relationship. Like Mary was the first person that I could see talk about it in a way that was like, oh, okay, so everybody's just okay with their friendship, like air quotes, friendship. But when the daughter came in, I was like, caught them red-handed.
Yeah, and the husband, Robert, he just lied. And
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you should see this as a red flag. And instead, she over there justifying behaviors and lying with him.
Yeah, but it's so interesting that what they did do very well with the two of them and all of that is they captured really well like this element of temptation and the forbidden fruit because like it just
Mm.
felt like they it just felt like uncontrollable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It felt like that was just how it was going to be. Even when she left and she was like, "You still want this? Or are you still like?" After the daughter saw them, he was like, "Yeah," and then she left just on a high. I was just like, "Damn, this is just that slippery slope." And I'm like, "Girl, I felt what she was maybe feeling, but I felt like they captured it well. Like
Yeah.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense, they captured it very well. But then reality slapped her right back as soon as she got to work.
Mhm.
Slapped her right back in the face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, cuz
so
Cora went and made her TikTok about it and they just assumed it was Eleanor.
mhm.
And I feel like it was like a full circle from what her brother Donovan, because Donovan was the second person to say, "You've always loved that man. You're blind to that man and what that man's family is capable of,
Yeah.
and you need to be careful,
Yeah.
because he's not gonna protect you. He's gonna protect himself." And so, lo and
Yeah.
behold, that is what happens.
Yeah.
But he did. I said, you know what? That's a darn good brother right
Yeah.
there, because he said, "Let me give you the evidence. Let me show you how easy it is for you to get caught up."
Yeah, it's
Um,
interesting though. I when I saw the brother and all of his like meddling a little bit, I wasn't necessarily thinking of it like, "Oh, he's a good brother." I was thinking about it initially like, "What is he doing? Like what's happening here?" It felt
mhm.
very like more protect the family legacy, money, like protect my money, and it didn't give me like genuine care for her. But later on, it did seem like he did care, but there's still something about him that seems very about the money.
Yeah,
Not
definitely,
yeah.
definitely about the money. And to be honest, in them type of situations, it's like they're both important. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so it might not have come from the best place, but it was still a correct read. You know, it was still a
Yeah,
necessary
yeah.
read. Now,
Still protection.
how much of his intentions was then like how it was perceived by her because he is so worried about the money?
Mm.
Maybe it did not.
Land
Maybe
right, yeah.
it didn't land right. Like it wasn't like, oh, she couldn't take it in for what it was, but he
Mhm.
seemed to come in, you know, and swoop in a very caring way after everything blew up
Mhm.
on the news, and he wasn't, too down on her. They seem to be having some real conversations. So I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing how that picks up as everything
Yeah.
is about
Is
to explode.
is he supposed to be her older brother? I thought I heard him say older, and he
Now that
doesn't
I
look
don't know.
older. He looks,
Yeah.
I mean, he looks, maybe in my mind, I'm thinking he's younger. He looks younger or something.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. I don't know. Something else I wanted to mention though, because they went to the ballet together, which is something that Nancy always enjoyed. And so when they did Nancy's flashback, which we're going to get into, seeing that she was a ballet dancer, I was like, now this is some fucked up shit. Now ballet was her escape from all that
mm,
trauma she was going through. Eleanor, you are aware of what she went through, and you sitting at this ballet with this woman's husband,
yeah.
groping his leg.
I
What
didn't
are we
even,
doing?
yeah, I didn't even understand how we got to the ballet. Like that first read of, we can't be out enjoying a ballet. Yes, that's the right read. You can't be out enjoying a
Yes.
ballet. Like,
Care
what
about
the
the
fuck?
optics. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Y'all both about to be murder
I
suspects.
know. And it happened. It did, you know?
Yes.
So, one of the other things that was in Nancy and Eleanor's dynamic was that last fight before she went missing. And she was just like, David, I'm going to go break things off with him. Please come with me. Please come with me. That sort of thing. She seemed very scared. And I'm
Yeah.
like, if Howard out here putting his hands on or doing anything, he is a weirdo. Like I'm saying, like he gives weirdo energy. I said this in
Mhm.
Paradise. You gotta stay away from the weirdos. Like if they give you weirdo energy, just trust that and move on. And so I'm not sure what's the dynamic or what's happening, but Eleanor, Kerry Washington's character, was very like, get out of my car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was very like, the jealousy, like, you have nothing
Mhm.
to complain about. You got the perfect man, girl, and you're sitting out here having an affair. You put on your big girl panties and deal with it yourself. Very, very, very
Mhm.
jealous that she couldn't even be here for her as a friend.
Yeah.
But
Or
also,
recognize that she was
yeah, she was
scared.
scared. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
gave they gave her a lot of jealous plots. Even her wanting to
Mm.
throw Cora's birthday party after Nancy's death, and they do the flashback to when Nancy throws her sweet 16, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it." But yeah, that was Eleanor's plot is crazy for sure. She got a crazy plot, but
Yeah.
one
And
thing
and
about
then
Carrie, she gonna bring a character on in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The other thing that we didn't note, and I guess it's gonna be maybe more relevant, other than it being her alibi, was the Mary's son. Apparently, he's got some juvenile delinquency. He was at, some underground gambling thing, and that's where a chunk of her time was that night. And they didn't let us know that kind of until like after we had already suspected it was her. And then
Right.
it's like, oh, it's not her. Okay.
Yeah.
But that felt interesting. And that's why I'm like, they got this family has a little bit too much, like Mary's family has a little bit
Mhm.
too much going
Going
on
on.
that just seems like it's just like shoe fly, like you in the way, like you ain't, it's not really the plot, but it keeps popping up. And so
Yeah.
that's why I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this if Mary has killed it, like just being honest.
Mary is my thought. I think it's Mary. For real. I think it's Mary.
Cause it's like it's twisting a bit.
Yeah, and now
It's
that we know
twisting.
that she might
It's
have
her
been hooking
husband.
up with the husband, she might have
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
yeah, we got a lot to talk about with Mary, baby.
yeah. But anyway, that's that. Let's get into Nancy. I think that's everything on Eleanor, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I do
Okay.
I do want to point out though, because I feel like this theme is in almost everyone's storyline.
Mhm.
I actually mentioned this when we were recording, what was it? What did we just record? I think Age of Attraction finale. Make sure you go check that out. But in the beginning, when Nancy and Eleanor were speaking at the bar, and Nancy was like, "Oh, or either Eleanor, one or the other, told one or the other about this idea of the difference between infatuation and love. Infatuation is going to
Yes.
drain you. love is going to fill you up. And so with Eleanor, right, this infatuation that she has with Robert is now about to drain her. It seems like
Mm,
Mary has this infatuation with figuring out who David is, and like she has like this obsessive nature about her where she gets super deep into something that's about to drain her. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Uh and everybody got some drainage. We got to see what Nancy's is. We don't know quite yet because she also has some type of infatuation. We just don't know what it is yet. It
yeah,
might have just been an infatuation with getting out of her circumstance.
for
Um,
sure. Yeah.
but it's definitely a clear line,
Yeah. No,
a
that's a
clear
good
theme.
point. That's a really good point. So let's get into Nancy.
Yeah,
Let's talk about her a little bit. She shared one aspect of her life, the fact that she was cheating with Eleanor, and then she shared whatever that there was some issues with Robert with Mary, you know?
yeah.
And so it's interesting. We don't know the extent of what she shared with Mary. I don't think Mary talked about it, did she?
No, it seemed
It's just that
like
there was issues with.
Mary. Yeah, but it seemed like Mary also knew via Nancy that Eleanor had a crush on Robert. Cause she was like, she confides in me about stuff too.
But
And so
I just figured it was about the issues with Robert because Eleanor is gonna take Robert Ash's side. You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
when somebody is really a fan of someone else, like it's hard to like go to them and get real
yeah,
advice because they're like, you should be grateful. This is a wonderful
yeah,
husband. This is a wonderful. It's like, all right, never mind, never mind, never mind. He walk on
right.
water for you. Okay. So that's what I kind of thought she was hinting at more so than anything
Okay.
in that. But she could have told her, shoot, we don't know. We don't know. But we see in this that she has like a she's from poverty and she's made it out. She's dealt with abuse. This older man who seems to be her mother's boyfriend,
Mhm.
and he's messing with her and giving her money, and she's kind of like, it's interesting. Robert's sister, was that Robert's sister, the woman with the little
Yeah,
peacock
I didn't
hair?
realize it was his sister until this last episode.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what she was. She just seemed like the family manager, but she could be a big sister. Big sisters are, I know, family managers. But anywho,
Yeah.
but when the sister said that she was very transactional, there's an element of that. Like I don't want to minimize at all the abuse that was going on in that situation by saying that there's a transactional element to her interaction with that man, because it was, I think, just like she's between a rock and a hard place, you know? It's like she's got to have money to get out of this place, and she's also being abused, you know? And so it's like I think she's just like, if I'm going to be abused, let me get something out of it. You know, let me advantage myself so I can go in another direction and leave, maybe. I don't know, because it seemed like she's very aware of the shittiness of her circumstances, and it seems like she's always forward looking in terms of trying to get out. And
Mhm.
so I think, or even just have the escape of dance, like that
Right.
seemed like what she was trying to get the money for, just on a basic level of just like escaping the everyday stuff that she didn't want to deal with. But I say that to say that, like, overall, we don't know much about her character other than these things, but I think they're intentionally like unfolding, you know.
Very slowly. Yeah.
Yeah, because after all,
Yeah.
she is the one who is missing. And
Yeah.
so it makes sense for her to be the most mysterious. And then her mother tries to kill her, or,
Mhm.
reckless driving, and they get into a crash. And so, obviously she survives it, but we just see her laid out on the pavement.
Yeah. I wonder if
So
her mother
yeah.
survived it. We don't
You said
actually
what?
know. I said I wonder if her mother survived it. We don't actually
Yeah,
know.
we don't, we don't,
Yeah.
we don't.
But when
Um,
Nancy and Robert were having or about to have sex or whatever was happening in the very beginning
mhm,
of the episode, I noticed the
mhm.
scar. her strap was covering the scar. So at first I was like, "Oh my God, is Robert abusive? Like, is that what that
Mhm.
scar is from?" Because they kept not kept showing it, but you could see
Mhm.
it, you know. And so the clip where Nancy's like on the ground and the piece of glass is lodged into her shoulder, I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
that's where that scar is from.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, they've
Yeah.
been trying to
Yeah.
connect some pieces, child. So we're gonna see. And I can't remember for sure, but the guy in the jean jacket that they were talking about at the funeral that Eleanor kept bringing up. I was
You think it
wondering,
was the
is
guy in
that
the back?
Scott? Yeah,
Oh, is it?
maybe.
Well, the guy in the back just looked younger than him because I'm like, if she, that had to be like, not even, it had to be like 20 years ago for her. You know what I'm saying? She had to
Yeah.
be, it had to be at a minimum 20 years ago. She's got a daughter that's like a teenager, or is that girl in college or is she in boarding school? Because she's away.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
Well, she's
But either way,
17, so
she's 17. Okay, okay.
40.
But that experience at a minimum was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this man was already looking older. He looked about 40 in the damn flashbacks. He got to be like 60 something now. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, what is, when she went to his Instagram, I'm like, these throwback Thursday pictures? Like, what are these?
Right.
Because these looks a little too young for the age that he should be right about now. You know what I'm saying? He should have a little gray in his hair, all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't know if that's him. That guy in the back, from my memory, looked younger. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
did, but yeah, I don't know, cause I mean, them pictures also he looked young.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
why I
was
was
a
like, I don't
crazy
know.
scenario. Just the fact that her mother wanted to do that because she was jealous that
Hmm.
this man was abusing her daughter. Like what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's like, how gone are you to not even have the urge to protect your daughter as the first
hmm
instinct? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if there's something wrong with you mentally and you're like, oh man, why he don't want me, why he want her, like, even if your brain went there for whatever lack of self-worth, lack of clarity, like the fact that you didn't have an independent urge to protect your daughter at all, like
hmm
that didn't pop up in any of it, just it just doesn't even make sense. But anywho, we have that. We also have the moment where she slapped her daughter. Nancy slapped her daughter.
yeah,
Uh now I'm gonna tell you, I don't like me a little brat because I'm like, don't sit here.
yeah. I said that now that slap, she was
Yeah,
popping off the side of her neck.
I don't know what to do with this because I don't know. I don't
I'm not
know.
for no abuse. Let me be
Yeah.
clear. Let me be clear. Um, However,
Yes.
nah, she was
However,
getting she was being disrespectful. Like, and
yeah.
it's some of them parenting moments, and it's like if you tell me you ain't never did this before, and you just, cause that's like who you talking to. I can't say that I don't understand. Like I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Cause what
I
you gonna say?
just
Go to your room. You're grounded.
yeah. And I also think that, look, I mean, nobody should be hitting anybody. But like you said, it's like, you understand it because the girl was just bratty, and I'm like, not you sitting here after your mom died talking some. She's fucking my mom's best friend. Like, girl, you was sitting here, yelling at your mom,
No
telling her to go away.
respect.
You said what?
Had no respect.
Yeah, just being very disrespectful. I didn't see any moment really other than, like, I guess at the 16th birthday party she kind of hugged her a little bit. But I guess she said that their relationship as a whole, she wasn't connecting with her, like the dad connected with her more or whatever. I don't know. But
hmm
I do know
In psychology,
that
we call that a stable coalition, where two people they join together against the third party in a
oh, girl, I didn't
family,
experience that
and it
before. Oh, not in my
creates
family. Not in my
it
family, but like
creates a
I've
lot of distance, right? So it's like
uh,
you have parents who are not getting along, and so they're both trying to like garner support from the child, and like it's one parent that usually wins it over. Like it starts off with this idea of
mm.
triangulation, and it moves into a stable coalition where now it's like two against one,
That's
which
so
is
interesting. I've seen that
yeah,
before, like, but more like when I was younger, unlike friendship dynamics, if that makes sense. Like when you have
yeah,
like maybe trios or you have just groups that they start to do their own thing. And so that's an interesting term. My younger self would have liked to know this. But like I said, I don't like her being very bratty, and that whole situation of like she was going out and she's going to be trailer park trash or whatever. I was like, that is kind of like just elitist.
Yeah, it was odd to me. I was like,
Mhm.
this is a costume for you. I wasn't I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, it as a whole, I will say Nancy that just doesn't seem to have close connections outside of Eleanor and Mary, which is interesting.
Mhm. Yeah, they
Now
said
we
they're
have this
soulmates.
yeah, we have this whole David situation. We'll circle back to this. Where it's like David, we think it's the painter. Then we think it because we know she told Eleanor that she's dealing with a guy named David. You think it's the painter, he gets arrested, and it's like, oh, it's not him. Then there is another guy,
The bartender.
that's the bartender whose name is David. And I was like, okay, ding, ding, ding. He fit the
Yeah.
profile. I was
He
judging
was
him.
also
I was
weird.
weird or
He
what?
he
He
was
just
giving off
seemed
intense energy to me.
yeah, he did, and something.
He
I can see
switched
what you're saying.
bars when she was at the other
Oh,
bar.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Came back
And then
around and was like, "Let me give you my number. You know that woman married." Like,
and then he seemed like he got upset at her for saying like, "I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong impression." Yeah,
yeah.
you did. And it's like, I actually didn't think she did. I was like, she engaged with conversation and she was like, "Oh, we're from the same hometown or whatever." But homegirl did not say like, she didn't do nothing bad. I look at him. She did nothing. So
You
I
know
didn't feel
what?
like
Now
she.
that you say that, it just a little theory just came into my
What's
head.
your theory?
What if David, the bartender, knows the stepfather somehow? And him being at that party was like some sort of connection to her past, and maybe someone from the past killed her.
Maybe, maybe. Or what if this is another theory that popped in my head just now too, girl. What if David is the David who actually kills her, but we're thrown off because they threw a rock over here at Howard and
Howard,
called him
yeah.
David. And we're like, oh, he's actually David that, because we were kind of thinking he was David. But what if he actually is the David that ends up killing her? Like the actual David, and it's not the Howard David that we're
Yeah.
thinking, but maybe there is an affair with this Howard David situation, but like actually the other David does because he was right upset, like or like not upset in the sense that he got mad, but
Yeah.
he
He
just
felt some
kind of
type of way. It was
I didn't feel
giving
like that was an appropriate
entitlement.
yeah, and so I
Yeah.
was wondering about that a little bit. I
And
was
you
like,
at work, sir. Like, you ain't supposed to
yes,
be asking a host for their number. Like,
yes,
even if they were single, like, that's
yeah,
inappropriate.
yeah,
It doesn't seem
I
like it would
agree,
be of the caliber of staff that Nancy would have been hiring. But then again, we saw
yeah,
the lawyer man was also with the secretary. So, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
That's
Maybe.
all. And then their whole family, like I guess we can maybe I don't know if we want to say anything else about Nancy or dip into Robert because like if we want to discuss the family under Robert
Yeah,
or under Nancy
we could do
because
both. We
the
could kind of like
yeah,
merge it. We could
yeah,
do
let's
family, then
merge
move into
into
Robert.
Robert a little bit because the dad when he came in there and he was using their bathroom, I was like, hold up.
I was scared for a second.
But he also at the end of that he was like he didn't say that that would be her last.
He said it would be a shame not to have a party next year.
I thought he would said that it is gonna be a shame. It would be well, yeah, he said it would be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it
He
would
said
be a
something like
shame.
that.
He said, I
I don't
enjoy
know.
your parties. It would be a shame not to have one next year.
Yeah.
Because she
Yeah.
said she would cut back on spending on the parties.
Yeah. I'm unclear. I'm unclear. She unclear about what's happening with the finances. What's the issue? I'm unclear.
And
You
I
know what I'm
don't like
saying?
that.
Yeah, I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? That's what. So the sister come back into the situation because the sister she annoys me. She's too curt. She's too blunt. She's too
hmm She's
Nasty.
inappropriate. It's like you
Yeah.
don't talk to nobody like that.
Yeah. Coming
And
from
she's
he's not
like
taking
making a clear
visitors.
divide that's like you're not a part of this
Yeah.
family. You're just married
Yeah.
into it. So you sit, you look
Yeah.
pretty, you sit back, you don't ask no
Yeah.
questions, and that's your
Yeah.
place. And I
Yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah, me neither. But Robert, let's chit chat about him. Um, he, uh,
Yeah, he's a liar. He's a manipulator. Um, he's a lot of things. He might have also been
yeah.
abusive. We ain't got there yet, but I mean, if
Hmm.
you a liar and a manipulator, you are abusive. So
And then he also, when he threw that painting outside, it was giving lack of emotional regulation. I was like, what is this? Like the
the court had
painting?
already said, Eleanor, please come stay because I'm afraid of my dad.
Yeah, no,
So,
she
and you
did.
know what? I'm getting baffled talking about. That's why you got to say stuff out loud. That's why therapy works. When you say it out loud, you realize stuff. You know what I'm saying? How is it that Cora was afraid of her daddy, but was
Mm-hmm.
also confiding in her daddy?
Mm-hmm.
That don't
Mm-hmm.
make no sense. I'm
Mm-hmm.
confused. I'm confused.
Yeah, I was giving it a little teenage, like teenagers don't know. They all over the place type of thing. But I agree with you because I wasn't really clear about like I just figured it was like a teenage back and forth sort of thing. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they experiencing. They just all over the place, hot, cold. So I just figured it was something like that. But you're right. She did say that
She
that
don't
she
give me
was
hot cold the way she be talking, the way she got on that TikTok, the
a
way she be
little
talking out the
bit.
side
She
of her
gives me hot,
neck.
cold because she gives me like also lack of emotional regulation, but age appropriately.
Hmm.
She's a teenager and stuff like that. And so
I
she
wouldn't
gives
even
me she
say
can
age
jump out there at
appropriately.
something.
Honey, that's not
But
age
I
appropriate. You
she gives me
16, 17 actually.
but she gives me she
Mm-mm.
can jump out there at like, oh, I feel it. I'm gonna do it, right? And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be mean or whatever. Because even like just the way she was talking to her mom, like again with the house full of people, it's like, girl, not with the house full of people. Like, at least have the decency to talk shit to your mama in private, okay? Like,
Yeah,
I
she
ain't
did
got
that
time.
too. She did that too. She did
Yeah.
before the party started. She said, "You don't even
Yeah.
know what dad wants anymore." Like she did that
Yeah.
too. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about this party but you.
Yeah. But I do wonder why Nancy doesn't have a hold of her family, like why she's not connected to
Yeah.
them. We do see that from in Nancy's episode 4 discovering going through his computer that Robert is looking to divorce her. She was shocked. She was like,
Yeah.
like she was
Yeah.
shocked. And I was like, not that I do this because I don't be doing this, but I was like, I always have like a mind to be like, if I'm gonna go do something snaky, I need to put that thing back right where it was when I left it.
Right. She
So
just
the fact that she
closed.
closed it and he gonna open
Yes.
that thing up and he gonna be like, I know I wasn't looking at this email. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? So she needed to have left that thing how she found it. But I don't
Hmm.
do that. I really don't. I know it's
Yeah, she was in so much shock though. I was like, "Girl, you got to put the pieces back together."
I know.
But yeah, that's another just element of Robert's lies, right? Because at first he was acting shocked that, Eleanor went and told him about the affair. Comes
Mhm,
to find out he already knew about it based on this letter where he
mhm,
apologized after freaking out. Then we
mhm,
come to find out that he was also cheating because
mhm,
Nancy told Mary, and
mhm,
now we're finding out that he also was getting a divorce, so he didn't really want to
mhm.
be with that lady.
Yeah. And all of this, like this Eleanor stuff, like it takes two to tango. You know what I'm saying? Like Eleanor maybe have been pining on her side. Yes. All that confirmed. But what's happening on his side this whole time? Because that didn't just birth out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That man got on her. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that didn't birth
yeah.
out of nowhere. That was something that he felt before. And so it's kind of like what's going on with you, sir? It's like you're keeping
Hmm.
secrets. You're keeping. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So yeah, any other thoughts about these first 4 episodes of Imperfect Woman?
I don't think so. I'm excited to see what happens on this next episode. And I wish we had really kind of dedicated to watching this earlier because it would have been nice to like go through
Yeah.
each week. But we're here now, and so join us next week. And
Yes,
like, yeah,
yes.
or this week, I guess, later on this week.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, and just so you guys know, we are also going to be covering which is coming up, Love Island Beyond the Villa. We have Age of Attraction that we just wrapped up. We have Survivor if you're watching that. And then Love Overboard. So if you're interested in any of those shows, make sure you check out those recaps. Like we said in the beginning, make sure you subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell, comment, chat with us. Let us know your thoughts. What are your theories? And yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're there too. You know, we trying to get some growth and goals accomplished this year. So
yes.
come hang with us. But yeah,
All
we will
right.
see you next week for Imperfect Women. Bye.
Bye.